We have a challenge. The greatest challenge in the history of humanity. There's a world to save. Each and every one of us must rethink, reprogram ourselves, and change the way that we usually do things. The construction industry makes up around 40% of our total CO2 emissions. The king of wasteful thinking, really. Drastic change is required to reduce our new build carbon footprint from the current 1,000 kilograms of CO2 per square meter down to 300 kilograms, which is the 2030 target. That's steep, but not impossible. And above all, necessary. And it has to be a team effort, where every detail counts when building a new construction standard. At NorDan, we try to lead by example. We've done it for nearly 100 years now. We try to do our part by improving ourselves through our products. More than 90% of an ordinary NorDan window frame is made from timber, which is a natural carbon sink. It keeps the embodied carbon figures among the lowest in the industry, with CO2 emissions from NorDan less than half of aluminium or UPVC windows. Compared to other composite materials in the market, there is no comparison. With U values as low as 0.7 and unbeaten durability, even in harsh coastal environments, it gives any house the homeliness it deserves for generations to come, which comes in handy when facing the fact that the UK needs to build 350,000 new homes each year to meet the demand. So why is timber an excellent building material? For one thing, it's carbon negative. It absorbs and stores more carbon than it emits during its growth time. From a full-grown tree, we can extract material for building 30 windows. When a NorDan window is installed in a home, it will stay there for at least 60 years, keeping the home well insulated and energy efficient. You see, we like to commit ourselves long-term. It's the only way, if there's going to be a long-term at all. At NorDan, we are ready to do what it takes to reverse the climate change. Please join us. There's a window of opportunity. And that is now. We have a challenge.
Hello everybody and welcome to Orion Sports Centre for what is the first of the NorDan British Handball Super Cup final. That's right, all the third place playoffs, all the semi-finals, they're all done and dusted. This is where the real meat is in the gravy. We've got West London Eagles versus Olympia, and well, if anybody's been following English handball, you'll know that this is actually a prelude, almost a dress rehearsal for the National Cup final that we've got in about a month's time. Very exciting indeed for that one down in Nottingham, but this is for the British Super Cup, and a lot of people would say actually that's harder to win, because of course you've got to beat the best in Scotland as well as being the top in your leagues respectively. If anybody out there is wondering, well, you've just tuned in, what is the British Handball Super Cup? What is the NorDan British Handball Super Cup, I should say actually. The top two from the Scottish League against the top two in the English League come head to head to see who is the best in the land. We've had Newcastle Vikings finishing fourth. We've had Edinburgh finishing third this morning. And this is the culmination of the women's competition. West London Eagles versus Olympia. Let me run you down the team as the PA is currently doing. For Olympia, we've got the number 1, Sabrina Farham. Number 4, Malvina Speck. Number 8, Elodie Trouillard. Number 9, Greta Morkvenite. She has given me permission to just say Greta. Number 10, Tamara Halmush. Number 11, Cecile Jakobsen. Number 13, Anastasia Petrovska. Number 15, Amanda Hoffner. Number 17, Vivian Lengel. Number 19, Karina Vesteng. Number 20, Alexandra Ginter. Number 28, Bianca Morutan. Number 29, Bella Hughes. Number 87, Denisa Lemon. Number 88, Natalia Zak. And number 95, Joanna Markova. That is the Olympia playing team. They've obviously got a few people on the bench here as coaches. And the main man is Aurelian Goog. With Sarah Autunish is on the bench with them as well. I think normally a player, Sarah, but injured and on the bench. The West London Eagles, we've got the number 1, Annette Utby. The number 2, Bindel McDougall. Number 3, Wing Hang Hoi, also known as Jill potentially. Number 4, Maddie Edwards. Number 5, Emma Jane Tommen. Number 6, Christina Littman. Number 7, Maria Seri. Number 8, Victoria Pavashinska. Number 10, Anna Meyer. Number 11, Naomi Bell. Number 13, Katarzyna Witowska. Number 16, Erika Hodosi. Number 19, Katarina Razolin Bento. Number 20, Hoi Kwun Lung, also known as Lydia. And number 24, Anna Thornhill. And on the in charge of the West London Eagles team, I should say, is Paul Dempsey. Our 2 referees, Gianna Stella Marisi and Andrea Alejandra Pepe from Italy. So how do these 2 get on yesterday? Well, obviously they both won their respective matches. West London Eagles beating Edinburgh and Olympia beating Newcastle by the biggest margin that we've had this weekend so far, 29-9. So Olympia, the league champions in England, finalists here in the British Super Cup. Oh, she just spotted the camera actually, I think. And the English National Cup finalists as well. They are well on their way to a treble this season for Olympia Handball Club women's team. And not only that, we do have another potential treble, but that is in the men's category. A little later on, we'll talk about North East Manchester Hawks. At the moment, it is the women's final we've got to chat about. If you are wondering about when the men's is, it is at 4 o'clock. It's the game after this one, Livingston versus Hawks. So please, hopefully you've used the third place playoffs to get yourself hyped for an afternoon of spectacular handball. And as I said, this is almost a dress rehearsal for what is to come in June down in Nottingham. Important players to be keeping an eye out on. Some top scorers, Denisa Lamont, fast breaks for Olympia, a key part of her game. Anastasia Petrovska as well, I think that was from the left wing, the number 13, a complete whip of an arm. Sabrina Farhan, brilliant goalkeeper as well for Olympia. For West London Eagles, Brindel McDougall, the right winger, had a fantastic game against Edinburgh, scoring 6 goals. And Wing Hang Hui as well, with 3 goals for that particular game. Other than that, pretty shared out, to be honest, for West London Eagles, as they start us here in the final. And there's a shot gone over for the number 3, Wing Hang Hui. When she went into the centre of the court against Edinburgh, that's when the game really shifted. That's when it changed. And West London Eagles actually started playing a little bit more cohesively, started playing the handball that we come to expect from them. Olympia do come into this as favourites, you would argue. Not that a massive favourites, one would say, but as the league champions, West London Eagles have been second in that one. And they'll be hoping to have a little bit of an upset here. They play some really interesting moves as well, do West London Eagles. Faking second lines, going in, attacking on the blind side. Wingers are just as important as the backcourt players, as is the same for Olympia, don't get me wrong. In fact, can't really choose between these two. I've asked a couple of people and they can't really choose between them either. Passive play is being called. Step by the number 3 to go between 1 or 2 defender. Couldn't get the ball out to the wing though. So Olympia get the ball back, still 0-0. Both teams have had an attack, both teams have failed to score. In fact, the West London Eagles have failed to score 2 as those are coming together in the middle of the court. So Lamont lining up at right back. Speck at centre. Greta at the left back position. West London Eagles trying to make that interception. Lamont finds the ball though. Almost presented to her and a great save. It was from inside the area. In fact, no, the defender picked the ball up from inside the area, but a good save by the West London Eagles, number 16, Erica Hudzosi. As Olympia try and line something up. Lots of crosses with the backcourt players, but Lamont get the ball stuck to her hand. Too much tack potentially. West London Eagles try and move up the court, but there's a travel there. Wasn't looking up at the same time as dribbling the ball. A lesson for any young handballers out there. Make sure you have your eyes up rather than just going straight for the dribble. Couple of people arguing there's a little bit too much tack on the ball here. That's an unusual thing. But we saw it in the semi-final a little bit. And in fact, actually, we just saw Lamont hold on to the ball for a little bit too long. So maybe they have a point. It is Greta attacking the same space that Lamont just drove all the defenders into. Not wanting to go over to the right-hand side. And as a right-hander, as a left-back as well, you can understand that. Well, I certainly do anyway. I wanted to avoid the right-back as much as the plague, honestly. .28 is in at line for Olympia after what has been a fairly slow start, to be honest, with this final. A little bit of nerves. Passive play being called. Good save by Hudzosi. And a battle for the ball sees Hudzosi get the ball back, I think. And in fact, no, it was just a standard foul, I fear. The West London Eagles go up the other end. Slightly different lineup than we're used to seeing from the Eagles. And I think this is their funky second line. No, it's their double cross, followed by another shot from the backcourt. 4 minutes in nearly, no goals yet scored. Little fake from Speck, but a intervention, shall we say, from the West London Eagles defender meant that she didn't get the ball back. Number 28 for Olympia, Bianca Morrison, currently standing in as the line player. I feel like you guys may have just heard my phone because it's next to the other microphone as the ball goes in the back of the net from Speck. First goal of the game, first blood goes to Olympia. And there's certainly a support coming from the men's team that did just come third in the game about half an hour ago. That's why we're such late. We said it was a 2 o'clock kickoff, or throw off I should say actually. We got that a little bit wrong, just because it was the game before went on for a little bit longer. Presentations and whatnot have to fit in. The players have to have a fair amount of warm-up. So even though the presentations will finish at about 1:30, obviously the teams weren't able to actually get on the court and warm up properly. We don't want any injuries. We want the highest quality handball we can. And that's what the delay is. Passive play. Stricken off the foot. Completely unintentional. Passive play is still underway. Take the shot from the back court. It almost snuck in. It's going to be a corner ball because of the deflection from the centre block. You can see Aurelian Gu very, very vocal on the side. If his team's not doing something that he wants them to do, he'll certainly let them know about it. As West London Eagles do turn the ball over, and maybe Olympia get an opportunity to actually put in place what Aurelian was actually saying. Here's Speck trying to figure out, unlock the puzzle. That is the West London Eagles defence. Placing the pivot player on the outside. West London Eagles going for that aggressive defence now. Look at that. Almost up as a 3-3 formation. Speck tries to find the way through. Greta rides the tackle. Gets the shot away, but it's not good enough. They get the foul. West London Eagles, yeah, they are. It's almost like a 1-5 defence, to be honest, of how high they're actually going and forcing Olympia back. One player just left alone to take care of Bianca Moreton. And everybody else up on the 9-metre line. Lots of space for Olympia to run into, but they haven't quite figured it out. Lamont, you can see, actually making that darting run from right back into the line. Trying to go behind some of the defenders. That's the bomb with the aggressive defence. Was that travel? Oh, it wasn't travel, but it was inside the area. That is the threat that Olympia do have if they can figure out how to get it to the not only the line player, but also running the other spare players in behind. Movement off the ball, just as crucial as movement on the ball. True in pretty much all aspects of handball and most aspects of sport, to be honest. Anything that involves a ball and a team. But vitally important when you've got such a high pressure defence like West London Eagles are putting in, and they're trying their sort of funky blindsided second line fake. They got it all kinds of wrong. I would not have picked this game to be the one, but 7.5 minutes in, we're only 1-0. Victoria gets the ball from the right back. She intercepts it. It could well be 1-1, but it's not, because she shoots it wide. And as I said, I honestly cannot believe that between these two teams, such intense, high-quality handball teams, that we are currently only at a 1-0 situation. Anybody tuning in right now will be thinking this game is scored like football.
Look at the space, man. Look at the space.
Finally, Speck gets back through, though. Had to Greta open the door for her, drawing in two defenders. And Speck, well, there's only 2 goals in the game, but they've both been scored by her. West London Eagles slow the ball down. Going for another type of play here. Communicated by the centre. Wing cross, half cross. Victoria shoots. Too far away though, bit too predictable. And I'll give the good save to Sabrina Farhan as well, to be fair. Didn't have to move much for it, but you still have to be there to save it.
Look at the space. Look at the space.
And again, that 1-5 defence, I'm going to keep calling it that. Well, to be fair, the other winger is sat on the 6-metre, not wanting to be as aggressive. But you can see how keen they are to cut off the Olympia left wing. And, well, you can understand why, actually, because that'll be Petrovska, won't it? Who is absolutely lethal with that right hand. And, in fact, they're so keen to try and get her involved. They brought her into the centre now. She's got this whip that is so satisfying to see. I'm hoping we do get an opportunity. But Speck has chosen to just do this all on her own. 3 goals, already a hat-trick for Speck. You can hear the even I can hear from my little cupboard the Olympia support from the men's side, the Olympia women's. As I said, they do come into this as favourites. West London Eagles and Paul Dempsey, I'm sure, will be slightly disappointed with how their team have started. If you are watching as a West London Eagles fan, maybe a part of the other teams that are involved in the club, do let us know. Hopefully, I don't know if the YouTube comments are even open, actually, to be honest. I haven't looked at them all day, but if they are, do let us know. Movement out to the left wing, didn't get there. West London Eagles, Anna Mayer on the left wing, couldn't keep it in. So Olympia retain the ball. 3-0, 10 minutes in. It's not been the best game of the weekend, let's put it that way. It's got time to erupt, don't get me wrong, 50 minutes to go. These two teams do have the quality. But it's been a bit of a slight stalemate, hasn't it? Greta tried to bounce their way through there, but the Eagles, again, sort of disrupting it. They look to break. Olympia recover well, as they always do. Lung at centre. Hoy, I think, just gone off. Victoria comes into the backcourt. Moves it to the left. Moves it to the left. And there's the first goal for West London Eagles. I thought Emma Jane Tommen was going to take the shot, but actually got moved out to Mayer. And finally, just as the 11 minutes mark is crossed, we do get a West London Eagles goal. 3-1 is the score. Normally, if you score your first goal in the 11th minute, you would expect to be behind by about 6 or 7. But Olympia really haven't had that much joy either. It's just been Speck, who one-on-one has had the beating of pretty much every defender she's come up against, including that one. And Emma Jane Tommen has given the first 2 minutes of the day for pulling her back from behind. From memory, one of the younger players in the team, representing under-19's GB national team fairly recently. Originally of German descent, apparently, but is eligible for the under-19 GB team. As Olympia give the ball away needlessly. And I would say from Olympia's perspective, they're giving West London Eagles a lot of opportunities to get back into this game. Admittedly, Olympia's defence has been good as well. Obviously, you could argue slightly better than the Eagles, given the fact that Olympia are winning. And Eagles haven't really had any kind of clear-cut opportunities. And the ball gets turned over again. There's a fast break on here. Is that Lamont? It's out of camera shot. It was Lamont, because it nearly always is. The pass wasn't good enough. Eagles come back up the court. Mayer. Back to Maddie Edwards. First time we've seen her today. Victoria with the look. Couldn't get the ball over. Edwards trying to get through the gap. Penalty given. No signal for the referee. What for? I'm going to go ahead and guess that it was defending in the area. I don't believe 2 minutes has been given, so it wasn't anything major. There are the 2 referees, as I said, hailing from Italy, flown over the other day. I think got in about midnight on Friday. Exploring Edinburgh tomorrow. I believe that's their plan before they fly home. Right, Victoria steps up. And it's a rocket off the crossbar. Brilliant goal by the number 8, Victoria Pawaszynska. Her first of the game. And a very needed situation as well. They needed to convert that penalty. Speck out to Lamont. Good step inside. Speck trying to get it to Greta. They're out to the wing. Pawaszynska! No. In fact, that's because it wasn't It's Petrovska. My apologies. Completely wrong number, completely wrong team. It was Petrovska. Got so carried away, giving Pawaszynska, marking her as the goal before. Petrovska didn't get the goal though, came off the crossbar. So the score 3-2, nearly halfway through this first half. We are sort of waiting to see who wins this chess match. As it comes off the post, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was off the post. Sabrina otherwise would probably be celebrating a little bit more than that. Normally when the penalties come around, they do have an option to change the goalkeeper to Joanna Markova. I think that's what we saw a little bit yesterday. And in fact, Joanna actually came in and played pretty much half the game against the semi-finals a couple of weeks ago in the English National Cup. But Sabrina, definitely the number 1 choice when fit and capable and firing. Ball thrown out by Olympia. The West London Eagles draw level at 3-3 after the 15-minute mark. Well, we're not quite at the 15-minute mark yet. I think they can count themselves, I wouldn't say lucky, I wouldn't be so disrespectful as to say lucky, because they've defended quite well, but they won't be able to believe it. I don't think Olympia would be able to believe it either, to be honest. Here's Tommen. Good take there by Victoria, and a great save by Sabrina Farhan, just as I was bigging her up as well. Well, saves are as good as goals. Farhan has 2. Hidosi has 1. If you look at saves as big as goals, actually, Farhan is the second highest scorer. West London Eagles still have a chance, but Sabrina Farhan with her second save in as many minutes, well, probably even less, maybe even only 60 seconds. You would have bet quite a lot of money on West London Eagles converting that. I think it was Maya who was up on the fast break. Olympia have changed slightly. They've got the number 11 going in, Cecile Jacobsen. Travelling though straight away as they get their first opportunity to show themselves. Oh, past the line, it's Naomi Bell, and it's going to be a penalty, and a 2 minutes is on the way for Jacobsen. What an absolute terrible 20 seconds it has been for her. Give the ball away, give a penalty away, and a 2-minute suspension to boot. Now here is that change for Olympia. Joanna Markova, number 95. Pavashinska has already scored 1 penalty. And she scored another one here. Would you believe it? West London Eagles drawing in this game. 16 minutes and we've only had 6 goals. We're still waiting, and I wonder how long we'll have to wait before we actually see these teams actually sort of flex their muscles. It's almost as if they've played each other for too many times this season, and they know exactly what's going to happen, what they're going to do, and what they need to do to nullify it. West London Eagles' defence has been very aggressive, and I have to say very good as well, actually. It's only Speck that's really found a way through. And her one-on-one attack is what's dragging Olympia along in this game. She just scored again. She scored all 4 of Olympia's goals. She needs a little bit of help if they're going to win this one. Charging foul committed by the defender. Committed by the line player on the defender. That was what opened the space up for Victoria Pavashinska. But it wasn't allowed. Naomi Bell there giving the charging foul. Lamont on the right back, Greta in the middle. Speck on the left back now. They've put the line player over towards Speck, and you can understand why. Oh, almost a really good little move, trying to ride the contact. And she did manage the offload, but the travel was in there as well. Otherwise, Speck was through. Here is Greta again, back in the centre. They'll move it around. Yep, you can already see her going to the left back position. Speck coming in around Lamont as well, giving a spin, giving the step. Passing play is called. Only a couple of passes left. Greta goes up for it. Comes off the post. And the Eagles hold on to it. 12 minutes to go. Hasn't been sensational, this game. It's been very tense. Been a bit cagey. And I think overall the tactics have equalled each other out. Almost feels like, and I know this is a bit of an obvious thing to say, but it's a bit of a coach versus coach situation rather than a team versus team. Aurelian Goog and Paul Dempsey have sort of figured out exactly how they're going to line up, how they're going to set the other team up, how they're going to play, what the moves are going to be, and the best ways to nullify it. Passing play is called. Move out to the left wing. Plenty of space. And not enough space, it would seem, though. Olympia gave every opportunity to the left winger of West London Eagles there, but they weren't clinical enough to take it. If you're an Eagles fan, you're only half thinking, are they fit enough to actually maintain this kind of defence? And their little gap opens up. Jakobsen, who was off the court, remember. You actually forget that Olympia with a player down. West London Eagles really didn't take any advantage of that. Here is Jakobsen, fights through it. Almost a save by Hidosi, but ends up being a goal And Jakobsen, after being put on after a terrible 30 seconds, has repaid the favour. Great pass over to Naomi Bell, and they respond immediately. Where has this all of a sudden come from? Most exciting 20 seconds we've had in the entire game. Well, from Olympia's perspective, they finally found someone else to score a goal for them. Malvina Speck with 4, Jakobsen with 1. From Eagles, they pretty much shared it around all the way. Here is Jakobsen trying to step the defender. Wasn't successful. Pavashinska has scored 2. Maya has scored 1. Naomi Bell and, yeah, that's it actually. That's only scored 4. I was expecting more, but I've actually marked down Erika Hidosi as having a really important save. She's almost been close to about 2 or 3 actually, but not quite there. Moves out to Jakobsen, who goes for the shot, and there is another save. I'll give it to her. Hidosi. Eagles starting to move a little bit quicker now as they go up the court. Lots of transition, lots of space, and they've hit the post yet again from that left wing. Meyer not having the best time. Meyer look only get better. Lemon got into the centre. Jakobsen out to the right hand side. Speck on the left. Bit of movement. Little wing cross there from Lemon and Petrovska. Yes, I was just making sure I got it right this time. Jakobsen from that right. It's so difficult. You have to twist your body. West London Eagles were patient, waiting for the mistake to happen. Nine minutes to go. Still only 5-4. Still a very low scoring game of handball, this one. Only 9 goals in 21 minutes. Tactical chess match is at play here. Eagles with a couple of crosses. Bit of poor bit of handling. Lemon steps 2 with them. Here comes the number 20. Not good enough with her hands either. 2 technical errors in a row from different players. Alexandra Ginter, that one. I think the other one was potentially Maddie Edwards. Tommen at left back. Edwards at the right back. Through the middle. Hoi Kwon Lung. Edwards fires it over to Lung. Looks at the left wing. Third time's a charm. Well, third time you hit the post as well. That's quite incredible a statistic, to be honest, and one that they won't be very proud of, but that is 3 shots all from the left wing have all hit the post. Matter of inches, this sport, isn't it? Petrovska! There it is. That's what we've been waiting for. West London Eagles has done such a brilliant job at making sure that she hasn't been involved in this game so far, but at some point she was going to get the ball with more than a step of space, and that's eventually what happened, and she went for the lob as well. Young Ukrainian, SSK Presov in Slovakia was her last club. She's been with Olympia. Just having a look up, make sure that I wasn't missing anything. Been with Olympia for 2 years. And as I said, absolute whip of an arm there. It was a little bit more technical, nicer finish with the wrist more than the elbow. And the Eagles find themselves 2 down, but with such a low-scoring game, they won't be too bothered. They just need to sort out the left wing, really, because Olympia are leaving a lot of space out to the wings, and that's how they take advantage. One player, and I'd almost completely forgotten about them, McDougall. So potent in the last game that we saw them. I'm amazed that we haven't seen more of them so far today. Scoring 6 last game against Edinburgh. First goal of the game this time. First time I think she touched the ball. Lemon trying the spin, releasing the ball. Speck wasn't on the right wavelength though, wasn't close enough to take advantage and run through the space. Lemon at left back now, Speck in the centre. Great fluidity in the attack from Olympia. Jakobsen steps the player and takes the shot as well. Really good move by Jakobsen. Still a 2-goal game. I thought Olympia were going for a player-to-player marking system then, but no, just trying to tease the interception from Edwards. Here we go, nice little cross from the centre, trying to initiate some kind of movement, move the defenders about a little bit. McDougall, back to Lung, Maddie Edwards, off the post yet again. I think they've hit the post more times than they've scored so far, West London Eagles. It's certainly very close. So, with 5 to go, Olympia are leading this game by 2. They've been in this situation before. It was 3-1 at one point. West London Eagles, it may have taken them a while, but they did get it to 3-3. That's a great little pass. It's not a great finish. Number 17 misses, Vivian Lengyel. And, well, I said West London Eagles have hit the post quite a lot, but Olympia have been guilty of missing the goal entirely as well. Both teams have. Some great saves as well by Sabrina Farham, making the difference at the moment. Hidosi has made 2 brilliant ones as well. That's Naomi Bell. It's going to be a penalty for defending in the area. Jakobsen yet again. May have made the difference in attack. Looking a little bit shaky in defence potentially, but you got to give credit to the movement of Naomi Bell as well. Movement, handling, shot shape, doing everything she needs to do to ensure she's either going to get a goal or a penalty. Here goes Victoria. 2 for 2 at the moment. Goes the fake. Sabrina. No, it's not Sabrina, is it? It's Joanna Markova. I'm so used to shouting the praises of Farhan, but it's Markova that deserve it this time. And, well, that's one of the few penalties I've ever seen Pashinska actually miss. Oh, Pavashinska, sorry. So Olympia making sure they set up correctly. Waiting for the move. Speck controlling it. Jakobsen. Very narrow is the attack from Jakobsen. Not hugging the touchline at all as a timeout is called by Olympia. Referees just given a little tip by the player. Make sure you keep an eye out for this. But yeah, it is interesting. It's a bit weird to see from the perspective of the camera, but quite often you would want to see your half-backs very wide, try and stretch the defence, lots of space to run into. But Jakobsen operating on that right back, it's so hard as a right-hander to operate that wide. She started a lot more narrow than they are in the left-back position with Speck and Lamont and Greta, whoever's been over there. Paul Dempsey and Aurelian Gug trying their best to get the points across. And actually there, the last few words was Christina Littman, wasn't it? But yeah, West London Eagles captain. So look, they do put it down on their delegate sheet. But I cannot see it at the moment, which is a bit of a shame. Anyway, we're going to get back going as I was studying my delegate sheet there to see if they did bring put the captain down, but they I don't think they have, either that or I just can't see it. Anyway, we get going as Olympia 7-5 in front, 3.5 to go. Ooh, that's not what William Gug wanted to see straight away. At least they don't turn it over. Jakobsen straight through the centre, rode the tackle, took the bounce, and she gets through to score her 3rd of the game. Tobin, Lung, Naomi Bell, area. So Olympia look almost to look for the fast transition. Greta Victoria with a really good tackle and a bit of a reaction there from Greta.
Well done. They need to see
Yeah, not until I think the referee just saying, yeah, I noticed that. Greta almost playing dumb, but I think she knew exactly what was going on with that one. Great little step, great movement. Speck, her 5th. And they've all been from beating one-on-one. They've all been from movement off the ball. Shows just how effective it can be. Attack the space with some intensity. And hopefully your teammates will find you. 9-5 now, 4-goal game, Tommen. has travelled. Olympia try and break up. It's a long pass. It's a great pass. It's a poor finish. Off the post. 2 minutes to go, roughly, in this first half. And is there another timeout? Waiting for this. Don't know what's happened. Referee's waiting for something. Looking over at the table. And we get back underway here. As I said, 2 minutes to go. Early call being played out here by West London Eagles. They don't want to mess around. Get this done. Gonna have a look at the Olympia left wing defence. See if they're really giving any McDougall any kind of room, because I was about to say McDougall is going to be a key in getting back into this match. She seemed like a very proficient finisher, but if she's not been given any room, then she won't have been, obviously, she won't have been really involved in this game. She did get a little bit of room. Speck trying to shake the shoulders. I didn't think actually moved her feet that much. Naomi Bell with a great layoff. Tommen. Double dribble, apparently. Well, that's something you don't see very often at this level of the game. Emma Jane Tommen. Wow, very surprising. Thought that was a great little bit of play between herself and Bell to get past and through the defenders. That would have made it 9-6 potentially. Obviously, we'll never know. I mean, it did end up in the net, so maybe that was, it would have been 9-6. But with about a minute and 10 seconds to go, they're trying to force the ball into the line. They do. The defender had to let go. She was in the area. And the number 17, Vivian Lengel, ends up scoring for Olympia. It's 10-5, and all of a sudden this really cagey game has opened up. And West London Eagles will have to start throwing some new tricks at it. Some new tactics, trying to open up that Olympia defence. May leave themselves a little exposed. Here's Tommen. Lung. Passive play. McDougall tries to get it back to Victoria. Tommen gets the ball back. Here's Pavashinska. Gets the goal. An important one. 10-6. They're all important at this stage. They're all important generally, aren't they? Let's face it. Victoria also going for the scrap. She gets the ball back. West London Eagles could break here. Could be a 3-goal game. They don't offload it quick enough. That's going to be in the area. Lung maybe didn't get the shout from the left-hand side. And that is 30 minutes of handball. Interesting, tactical, bit of a chess match. Also a bit slow at times, I have to have said. But I think the half-time score has come at 10-6 to Olympia. As I said, a little bit cagey. West London Eagles had an opportunity at the very end there to get within 3. It's a bit of a mental thing, I always think, in handball, where 3 seems attainable, 4 seems, just seems like such a much bigger margin than 2-3 or 4-5. 3-4 is manageable from a leading team. That's pretty much what the Olympia men's had over EK82 in the last game that we saw. And it's what Olympia currently have right now as well. That was Speck giving the fake to a central defender, seeing the space, movement off the ball. Again, movement off the ball, really intense. Speck doing everything that her teammates in West London Eagles weren't able to do in the first half in that early stages. Good finish there by Mayer. We do have a half-time presentation to be covering for you, but before we do that, before I come back, I'll give you a quick break from my voice. At the moment, it's Olympia 10, West London Eagles 6, half-time score. We'll be back as a little presentation to one of our long-standing servants, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes' time. Yes, and the crowd goes wild because the teams are coming back on court now. West London Eagles in defence. Olympia will throw us off. 10-6 the score to Olympia. So tight, so cagey. The majority of that match. And then all of a sudden, Olympia just eked out a couple of goals. And it wasn't like it was done in about a 3-minute period. It was done over about 5 or 6. So West London Eagles want to try and rectify that. See what they can muster up. They've gone for a very aggressive defence for the majority of this game. Will they keep that up? I think it's been a good defence for them. It's minimised the amount of space that the backcourt players have had to shoot from. It's only the likes of Speck that's really managed to wheedle their way through. It stopped Greta from getting any kind of shot away from the backcourt, forcing it all from 9-10 metres, or if she wants to get any closer than that, 8 or 7 metres, but under contact. Pass to play is called. Le Mans looks for Greta. She goes for that 9-metre shot. It wasn't under contact this time, but ends up hitting the post. That post has had quite a workout over that first half an hour as well. West London Eagles must have hit it about 4 or 5 times. Not that one specifically, but the 3 posts on that specific goal anyway. Olympia had hit the post and missed their fair share of shots as well. And we're hoping for a slightly quicker start than what we got in the first half. Here's Tommen. Victoria. Good recovery there by Greta. Well, the first attack from both teams didn't produce any goals. It doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. We'll need a bit more quality, though. West London Eagles been so tight, and Petrovska and Jakobsen, since coming on in attack anyway, has really helped the situation for Olympia. May well have been a bit shaky in defence, but equally in attack, she's given them something else from that right back. Charging through, taking the tackles and beating her players one-on-one. It's been very important, scored 4 very important goals. Otherwise, you've only got Petrovska with 1. And then Speck with 5. Sabrina Farhan even doing exactly what she always does. Saving handball shots. 4 saves she's made so far in this game. And Olympia have a 5-goal lead. Here come Olympia. Oh, Speck with the step. And a great goal to boot as well. That was awesome from Malvina. All of a sudden, it's a 6-goal game, isn't it? And West London Eagles don't really look like they're in this. You don't get the impression that they're completely gone, though. It's not like it's been a whitewash from Olympia. But West London Eagles just can't seem to finish it. And Maya, who's had, I think she went through a period of 3 shots, all from the left wing, within about 5 minutes, hit every single post that she could. Here's Greta. Speck. Movement from the line. Coming in. They go all the way to the left wing, though. Petrovska doesn't decide to take the shot. She's probably had just about enough room to give it a go with the whip that her arm is. Tries to shape up McDougall. Goes to Greta. Moves to Speck. Goes back out. She's closely marked, isn't she, by the number 2. That's Brindell McDougall, the Canadian. Speck trying to think of something to unlock the defence. Out to Greta. There is a passive play being called. But West London Eagles turn it over before they need it. But great bit of defending there from the left wing all the way to the centre of the court. Petrovska takes the ball from the clutches of 2 West London Eagles players charging through the centre. So 4 minutes in, we have had 2 goals. They've both been from Olympia. I can hear shouts of you can do it outside of my commentary box from what I'm guessing is the West London Eagles bench. Trying to give them some kind of encouragement, to give them some kind of inspiration of getting back into this game. In all fairness, they've had chances. Olympia haven't been impenetrable. It's just West London Eagles finishing that's struggling. Oh, Le Mans with a brilliant fake. And a great goal as well. This is the thing when you play such an aggressive, high standing defence that West London Eagles are. They turn the ball over immediately as well. You are suspect to potentially getting beaten one-on-one. And that's what Speck has been managing to do. That's what Le Mans did there. Here goes Jakobsen. The ball out to the right wing. Gets caught, gets stuck. West London Eagles try and move it. Tommen on to the left back. That's Meyer. Lung out to Victoria. To McDougall. Off the post again. They will very much watch this back and rue the missed opportunities. I'm not saying they'd be winning, but I could certainly see 4 or 5 goals that would have got in if it was just for a matter of inches of hitting the post. And the annoying thing from Eagles' perspective, 9 times out of 10, they probably would have scored them. But maybe it's the impression that Sabrina Farham has had. The fact that they know that you have to get the ball so far in the corner to beat a goalkeeper of that quality, and they end up hitting the post. Not sure what the Eagles would say if you posed that theory to them. But it is a nice way of thinking about it, especially for Sabrina. Le Mans gets all the way through. And it looks like a 2-minute suspension is going to go the way of Victoria Pawaszyńska. As she wanders off, Paul Dempsey gives it a commiseratory high five. Harlemouche steps up to take the penalty. And it's secured under the feet of Annette Utby. She slides. I don't think that was a celebration. I think she just fell over. It was a celebration. Probably a little bit much. You don't see celebrations in handball. The game is too quick for that. You score and the other team can break straight away. If you're doing anything but facing the ball and running backwards towards your own goal, you're pretty much going to get, you're going to concede pretty much straight away. Oh, Le Mans with a lovely turn, lovely fake, a fantastic pass to the line, and an overall brilliant goal. 17, Vivian Lengale didn't let her down on that one. 15-6, and we're starting to see both defences open up a little bit. Well, certainly the West London Eagles defence open up. Maybe they're a little bit keen to move up the court. There have been a few unforced errors on turnovers. Couple of crosses. It's a good goal. And from the Eagles' perspective, it's about damn time as well. That was Lung getting her first goal of the game. First goal of the second half for West London Eagles. 15-7 now. You can hear screams of move it left and right. That's all they need to do. They're a player down. There's no need for around the backs or anything like that. Drive at the space. Petrovska looks to run through 2 defenders. And no need for it. Get the line player, get the pivot player in a certain position and attack either side. Look at the amount of space that she has then. And there it is, the goal. Lengyel once more. And I was about to say, I thought I'd miscounted actually. Lengyel has actually got 3 goals. I've only given her 2. I remember she did score in the first half. And the timeout is given. It's West London Eagles. Olympia have a chance to celebrate. Always nice when you force the other team into a timeout when you're on top. And there is the Olympia men's team. Don't look that excited. They did just come 3rd in this tournament. And to be fair, when the team you support are starting to run away with it, you don't necessarily celebrate every goal. But they have been in loud voice. And I'm sure they will be very, very excited if it stays like this and the final whistle comes around. Concentration and study there. Hanging on every word of Aurelian Gug. No blinking almost from Speck. It's all going to plan at the moment for Aurelian. not having to worry too much about how the team is playing. Obviously want to carry this on, but it's definitely a manageable gap. Definition of manageable gap at the moment. West London Eagles had to think of something here. Come up with something that Olympia won't have seen before even. And that's always difficult to do when you play each other 3 times in a season. This being the 3rd, I believe. Maybe even played each other in pre-season. They will culminate in a 4th, obviously in a month's time, for the English National Cup. This is the final that will be played in June in Nottingham. And well, Olympia will be going into it with a lot of confidence, that's for sure. Eagles fumble it after Olympia did give them an opportunity. They looked for the fast break, couldn't get the ball into the hands of the number 11 quick enough. Now, I said that the Olympia support had gone slightly quiet. Well, I can hear them already. You can see them in the background. Oh, the Petrovska could have probably gone all the way with that one. Tried to force the pass. Mayer up the other end. Offloads it to Bell. And Lung slows it down. Calling out the moves now. See what they can muster up. Goes for the shot. Fake the move. Goalkeeper's ball. Lamont takes it up the court for Olympia. And you can start to see and hear as well in the background the support. Petrovska. Goal. Forced her a little bit wide, but it wasn't good enough. And there is the bronze medal draped around Chanez's head. Even interacting with the Olympia fans that are on the other side of the hall. 17-7, a gap of 10. Starting to look like there's no way back for West London Eagles. They haven't shown anything that suggests that they're actually going to get back into this game. Defence has gone a little bit loose. Attacks lacking creativity. In fact, look at this defence now, actually. They're going for a 4-2. Player-to-player system. Might not even be 4-2, actually. It's bordering on 2-2-2. I actually had to count that out on my hand to make sure I wasn't actually over-counting the players then. Lung, out to Maddie Edwards. To the left back, they finally get it out to the wing. And for the first time in what seems like forever, and probably for Mayer anyway, she gets the goal. Fair play for the persistence of keeping going. But I'm sure she would probably regret not having more to her name. She goes for the interception. She gets it. And she misses the goal. That one was a lot harder chance, to be fair. Running and jumping away, falling away from the goal. To then beat for Sabrina. Oh, Olympia turn it over again. No, they don't. Petrovska. Maddie Edwards did enough to get the foul away. 17-8. William Gu looks on. Wondering what he can do. You can see Paul Dempsey prowling the line on the left-hand side whenever the camera pans that way. Referee telling them on that the foul has to be taken outside the 9-metre. Good spin by Speck. To be fair, good defending by Lung as well. Didn't beat her player one-on-one there. What's going on here? Referee going over to have a word. Oh, there's been an exchange of words, an apology there by Paul Dempsey. The yellow card is given. That was slightly unusual, but it would have been some words said by Paul Dempsey towards the referees, delegates, or the other opposition. What he can say is that is a brilliant goal by the number 17, Leng Yel, with her 4th. Great bit of line play, great bit of work as well by the likes of Lamont. I think it was Lamont, or Speck. I was actually looking for my notes. So West London Eagles. Oh, they fumble it. Lamont, that's a long way out to shoot. But she had to, because she had to catch the ball. So West London Eagles get away with it one more time. This gap is still by 10 though. We're nearly halfway through and Lamont steals it once more. She's not going to have to shoot from that far away this time. Shrugs off the approach of the defender and secures the goal. What a weapon Lamont is when it comes to a fast break. Only her second of this particular game. But yesterday, I'm just having a look. How many did she score yesterday? Yep, 7. And I would wager, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'd wager most of them were from the fast break situation as well. So Victoria looks to the line. Naomi Bell couldn't catch it, but that was because of a foul. You can see how much these players love defending. There was even a celebration there from the number 17 of just making the tackle and disrupting Bell's ability to catch the ball. Elite level mentality. Not satisfied with being 11 ahead, wanting it even more. But the foul is given. Here comes Markova. Who's going to be taking it? It's Tommen, the number 5. The young German steps up. With Hawks looking on the background. And into the bottom corner. Tommen scores. Her first of the game. Weird thing to say when you say that, and we're 45 minutes in, 44 minutes in to be fair. Someone like Tommen only scoring 1. Olympia, sloppy. William Goog won't be happy. Naomi Bell throws it away though as well. Luckily picked up by Tommen. They move the ball. Lung. Victoria, there was a little bit of gap. There was a little bit of space, but she didn't go for it. Lucky not to travel. Or did well not to travel, I should probably say. Here's Lung again. Victoria. Oh, straight to the goalkeeper. Lamont was in the area. She didn't touch her though. Not according to the referees anyway. Olympia men's team in full voice. As you see their women's team leading 19-9. Even if they have been a bit sloppy, that's going to be a 2 minutes. Oh no, she's just a player to have actually gone down into the tackle. Jakobsen leaning down. 100% sure I'm in complete agreement with that one, but who am I to question the HF standard referees? Eagles up the other end. Look to get past Lamont. She may not look the biggest, Lamont. You can be damn sure she's got the right technique under her belt. Quick feet. And a pest in defence. And I'm sure very strong as well. But this is her specialty as she runs up. I don't know what's happened there, but I don't know whether there was travel. Did she run out of play? Not sure. Either way, Naomi Bell has the ball and normally results in a goal. And that's exactly what happened this time. 9 goals to the good. 14 minutes to go. Olympia 19, West London Eagles 10. That was Naomi Bell's second of the game. Pavashinska is currently their leading goal scorer. Oh, Greta. Lovely goal. Petrovska, all she needed to do was have a little bit of patience. Big save by Sabrina Farham. I actually heard the scream from outside. That's why I stopped before having a look over. There's a little bit of a delay in our stream compared to what I can hear outside. And every so often you just hear a scream of shouts of something big happening. And I can hear as well as see that there is a timeout with 20-11 as the score. A 9-goal game with almost 10 minutes to go. So as West London Eagles try and push to get back into this game, it only allows Olympia to push even further ahead. Aurelian Goog here. trying to give instructions to his players, letting them know what they need to do. I'm sure the players, Olympia, have been in this situation many a time. Born and bred winners, as Paul Dempsey looks like he's very much trying to get his point across. Bit of a motivation, bit of inspiration, and a bit of tactical awareness as well. I'm not sure what you can do to try and stop them, but yeah, I did mention just as we were going into half-time that there'll be a presentation at half-time. Well, it didn't happen. If you were here at half-time, you will have figured that out. It's going to be happening at full-time now. So a bit of an elongated presentation, but trust me, it's for good reason. So 21-11 is the score, not 20-11. I actually missed who scored that last goal, unfortunately, as Lamont tries to come on and do the standard Olympia trick of bringing people on, waiting to try and get an interception. That's one of the Eagles knowing full well that it's going to come. Straight into the hands of Sabrina Farhan, even. I think every time I say her second name, I end up saying it slightly differently, so that's why I tend to keep it with Sabrina. But Greta has started getting back into the game a little bit more. Here is Petrovska. Greta offloading it to Jakobsen. Couldn't get the ball out to the right wing, though. Good bit of movement. Potential gaps to open up in the middle, but they got it all the way to the wing, but it wasn't a good enough pass over to them. Eagles trying to spin their way through. Who is that? Is it a player we haven't really seen? Yeah, it's Katarina Brazilin Bento, number 19, trying to do the old spin trick. And successfully for her this time round. It doesn't mean it's not going to happen later on. The number 3's got into the centre as well. I believe that is Hoyt. Couple of changes all round, really, for the entire team. Passive play comes up. They look for Naomi Bell, about the only person that... there was an attempted kick there from Petrovska. I wonder if we can get a replay of that one. Not sure the penalty was given for that, but definitely looked like there was going to be. There is the right on cue, QTV. Well, yeah, I mean, she didn't make any contact, but weird decision to try and put a leg out and kick it. Anyway, Tommen with the penalty. Tommen with the goal. And as I try and find Tommen's name, I wasn't making up the fact that it was Tommen. There we go. Second goal of the game, I'm pretty sure. 21-11. Apologies, apparently we had a little bit of confusion with the score, but this is the correct score as it is via the table officials. 21-11 to Olympia, so it is a 10-goal game. Moving the ball out, trying to do a few crosses. This is a potential bit of movement that we haven't seen from Eagles. It didn't come so much, unfortunately, as a shot from the centre by Hoy didn't actually make it. And Olympia, I said before that this is the gap that you want to manage. This is the gap that you want going into the last 10 minutes. Lamont with the bounce. It's going to be past the player. They're not careful. Or they just pass it away regardless. Tommen breaking up the court. Looking for the pass off. Hoy getting a knee into the back of the head or back of the neck. Hopefully it's the neck. Which is a weird thing to say. But she's back up. Yeah, just a collision there. I don't think it was even a knee. So they got away with that one, I think, a little bit. Hoy. She's back up, playing. Which is good to see. Although a little bit of a sloppy pass out there to the number 19. Good step. Plenty of space. Tommen out to the wing. Good save, though. Sabrina Farhan. Yet again. the thorn in the side of the West London Eagles. 6 crucial saves that she's made so far. Petrovska looking for Greta. They got a little bit narrow now, but there's the width. But they don't need it because Speck gets all the way through. They give the goal, and I think they also give her 2 minutes. Yeah, there we go. Hoyt with that 2-minute suspension. It goes from bad to worse for Eagles. Speck with what I calculate to be her 7th goal of the game. (22-11) to Olympia then. 9 minutes to go. The sounds of Olympia being chanted by the men's team. Travel there by Eagles. Lemon picks it up. Speck slows it down. No need to go full out now. Hold on to the ball. Try and whittle down 30 seconds to a minute at a time with each attack. That's probably how much the referees are going to allow them, as long as they're giving a little bit of attacking pressure, which they're starting to. Oh, forced ball to the line. That's not going to happen for Lemon. Ball over the top. Here is Victoria. And a goal. Row the tackle. 6 in the top corner. Sabrina doesn't have any chance of that one. And that's her 4th goal of the game. (22-12). Keeping it around that same margin, West London Eagles at the moment. But crucially, not reining it in. At this rate, 8 minutes to go. Olympia are 8 minutes from becoming the British Super Cup champions. And what will be a successful double for them this season, League and Super Cup. There is the National Cup to come. Could be a treble on for them. That National Cup is against the West London Eagles, of course. I've mentioned that a few times already. This is the dress rehearsal, while West London Eagles will want to upset the show when it comes to the actual night. From Olympia's perspective, no one's missed a line just yet. There have been a few missed goals, but ultimately they haven't really mattered from their perspective. West London Eagles will probably be ruining the fact that they've hit the post a few too many times. They move the ball out to the left wing, Olympia. Petrovska, but it's a great save by Utby. I think it hit their chest. Yeah, it did. Good save by Utby. Tommen goes up the other side and scores as well. It's amazing what a little bit of momentum, a little bit of inspiration from your goalkeeper can do. Her 3rd goal of the game. Brings it to a 9-goal game. For pride more than anything else, they probably want to get it to 5 if they can. It's a bit of an ask. Lemon with a fake pass, and it's a penalty. Tommen pulling her down in the act of shooting. Lemon potentially looking to take the penalty herself. No, she's just got to get rid of the tack on the ball for Halamouche, who steps up, scored one already, and misses this time. Halamouche, who hasn't played an awful amount of game time, well, not that we've seen it. She may have well been on the right wing that we haven't been able to see too much in this second half. But she's come on twice for the penalty, scored one, missed one. And Eagles might take a little bit of light from that one as Victoria looks to get through, and she does exactly that. Her 5th goal of the game. Easily top goal scorer for Eagles. Emma Jane Tommen has got 3. McDougall's got 1. Mayer and Naomi Bell both have 2, and Lung has 1 as well, as far as my calculations go. Hopefully that adds up to 14. If it doesn't, then and it may well do. It may well not. Sorry, I've missed a goal or 2 off. These things happen so quickly in the moments in handball. Sometimes those mistakes can happen, but luckily the table won't be mistaking anything like that. They'll have all the right details. A few crosses, and Halamouche has actually got into the centre for Olympia here. Looks for Speck, who gives it a spin. She's done that a couple of times, and every single time she's done it, I'm pretty sure something good has happened from it. 8 for her as West London Eagles try and drill the ball into Tommen at the right back. But in the end, it's turned over. 5 to go. 9 goals the gap. You get the impression that this game is done. West London Eagles have come up to Scotland, and they'll end up coming home in second place. Not a bad result by any means. I'm sure Edinburgh and Newcastle wouldn't have minded coming in second, being in this final. But West London Eagles, after coming second to Olympia in the league, will certainly be feeling like it's not the result that they wanted, with a penalty going to Olympia's way once more. Maybe they'll use it as fuel, as inspiration and motivation to try and go into that National Cup final. Finally get the victory over Olympia. Probably a result they'll be absolutely desperate to do. If they don't manage it this season, Lord knows they'll be setting up for it next year. As Hughes comes onto the court to take the penalty, Harmouche gives it away. Hughes steps up, and it's a save by Utby. Hughes couldn't get the goal. Utby gets the save. Eagles try and capitalise as they move it to the right wing. The number 13, and they do capitalise. Witkowska gets her first goal. 23-15, 8-goal difference now. Every single time West London Eagles get a goal back, a little bit more pride is regained from their perspective, I'm sure. Their defence has been a bit better. Olympia has got sloppy. Their general attack has not been as it was in the early stages of the second half. Just over 3 minutes to go. Olympia are going to hold on. Which was whether or not they finish it in the fashion and the style they want to, or whether they give Eagles a little bit of hope. Another good save by Utby. In the last couple of minutes, she's made a fair few really important saves, including that penalty. Tommen. Victoria. Out to the wing. And there's a goal. There's one to be proud of. Really nice transition in the second wave of attack. The number 19, Katrina Brasolin Bento. 23-16, 7 goals. As I said, if they can get back within 5, I would take that as a positive if I was West London Eagles at the end of this game. Not been the highest scoring game. That first half, that first 15 minutes or so, really put in place to that. That's going to be a goal. I was going to say, about to say a penalty. We're defending in the area, but Amanda Hoffner, haven't seen much of it, but we have seen her score. We've seen her up against Tommen here at the right back as well. No, she goes into centre defence. Victoria throws the fake, moves it out to the wing, and bounces underneath Sabrina. 2 minutes to go, 24-16. Lemon with the step. Oceans of space out here on the left if they can move it. They do, and it's a penalty. Petrovska with a big shout. I'm not sure the West London Eagles player yet getting a 2-minute suspension. Almost looking in disbelief. You have to be so careful when you're on the wing defending these days. So many new small rules that have been put into play about movement of feet outside of the shoulder width or outside of the player plane, or however it's worded. Anyway, Zach, the number 88, steps up. Utby saves. Another cheer for Utby. Olympia missing one too many penalties, really. Natalia Zach even was the latest. Victoria looked for the wing. Didn't come off. 1 minute and 10 before Olympia are crowned champions of Britain. Already champions of England in the league at least. Strong defence, not letting anything go just yet. West London Eagles, they've tried a few too many long shots. That's Olympia's good defence, I would say, more than Olympia's poor attack. A few too many missed opportunities, some good saves by Sabrina, but a lot of posts hit by the West London Eagles. Tommen goes around the long way, gets the goal. 4 for her. And we've only got 25 seconds or so before we crown the champions and the runners-up, of course. Second in the entirety of Britain's not bad for Eagles. But Olympia will have done one better as another goal goes in for Speck. She's had a wonderful game. 9 to her name. And with only 4 seconds to go, Victoria goes for the shot. And it's a rocket to finish the game, in all fairness. Great goal by Pamashinska for her 6th. But it's Olympia who come out the happiest. Cheers, celebrations from both the men's and the women's this weekend. 3rd place for the men's, but 1st for the women's. League champions of England, British Super Cup champions, 25-18 the final finishes. West London Eagles are going to travel back down to London in 2nd place. There are the men's celebrating, and as they should. With celebrations on your screen, highlights about to come. The final score 25-18. We are going to give you a very quick break from my voice before we come back for all the presentations. So please do enjoy all of the highlights from the second half from this amazing final. And if you're wondering when the next bit of games are, well, 4 o'clock. That will be the final for Livingston versus Manchester Hawks. In the men's, it's also our final game of the weekend. This has been a spectacular penultimate show, but the finale is yet to come. Keep it peeled. We'll be presenting all the trophies and all the awards in a couple of minutes' time. We'll be right back. And we are back for the presentations of the final here at the NorDan British Handball Super Cup Women's Division. And there's a fair few things to go through. The presentations will be done by Mike Stevenson, the Senior Manager and Strategic Marketing at NorDan UK. And it will also be done by Ewan Hunter, the CEO of Scottish Handball. You can see round of applause. The PA is actually saying basically exactly what I've just said. Round of applause for everybody involved. And there's a couple of prizes to give out here, a couple of honourable mentions. So the first up is towards someone who has been around for 23 years as an EHF delegate. I'm pretty sure he's been involved with handball for a long time before that as well. Someone that's been heavily involved with setting up Nottingham Handball Club and handball over in Nottingham generally since way back when, and it's Colin Willis, and he's been absolutely brilliant for the sport in England and Britain, and of course his dedication as an EHF delegate being celebrated here. As I said, 23 years, and I'm sure that'll mean an awful lot to him. He's even got a couple of wrapped up presents there. It's almost as if it's Christmas. Ewan Hunter poses in front, and I'm guessing, I think that is Mike Stevenson. Having a little bit of a joke for them all. He was the delegate last year as well for the inaugural BHA British Handball Super Cup. But there we go, Colin. Thank you very much for everything you've done for handball in the UK. And hopefully that'll mean a lot to him. He's been the delegate for all weekend as well, pretty much all 8 games. He's been here making sure that we're operating at the highest standard as possible. There's also presentations for the 2 referees that we've been having here. They've been fantastic, refereeing 4 games in the women's finals as well. Gianna Stella Marisi and Andrea Alejandra Pepe. Brilliant referees and lovely people as well, actually. The SHA took the 4 referees and myself somehow tagging along out to Edinburgh yesterday to have dinner and sample some of the local beverages, it has to be said. Very nice, and yeah, lovely people. So presentations start for the actual players and the clubs. Second place in the silver medals going towards West London Eagles. Not the result they would have wanted in the final, but as I said, there are an awful lot of teams that are up and down the country watching this that I'm sure would absolutely love to be in their position. Ultimately, Olympia with a stronger team on the day. But West London Eagles fought hard this season, fought hard in this game, and you know that motivation is going to be sky high when they meet again in Nottingham in about a month's time for the England Handball National Finals, where they'll face up against Olympia once more. Handshakes all round then. Photos being given to all the players. They came out, they made a good name for themselves. Annette Utby with 4 crucial saves. Emma Jane Tommen with 4 great goals. Victoria Pavashinska with 6. Anna Mayer with 2. Naomi Bell with 2. Vitauska with 1. And Osi with 2 great saves as well. Bento with a goal. Lung with a goal. McDougall only with 1. McDougall might be slightly disappointed not to get a few more as she did yesterday. She ended up with 6 yesterday. Only 1 in the final. And Paul Dempsey as well. Brilliant to see him here. I'm sure he won't be too pleased about coming second. He never is. The competitive nature of all of the West London Eagles participants and players and supporters and everything like that. But they get one more chance for this season in a couple of weeks' time. As we move on to the champions of the Super Cup, it is Olympia winning the final 25-18. Sabrina Farham gets a rapturous round of applause. Malvina Speck with 9 goals to her name. I don't think anybody can argue that she is one of the favourites for the player of the match. That'll be nominated by Paul Dempsey. And the West London Eagles player of the match will be nominated by Aurelian Gug. and Sarah Autunish. Cecile Jakobsen really helped when she came on, scoring 4 goals. She added another layer to their attack from that right back position, beating their player one-on-one. And that's really one of the sparks that they needed to try and get a grip of this game. Vivian Lengel from that line as well. They were including her quite a lot of space behind the aggressive 1-5 defence that West London Eagles were trying to enact. I call it a 1-5. People are probably in the comments giving me the actual name for it, but that's what it looked like a lot of the time. One player being left to take care of the line, the rest of them stepping up to put the pressure on Olympia. It almost worked. It did work for a long time, actually, but they couldn't keep it up. Olympia managed to find their way through. And overall, a champions performance from the champions themselves. And the trophy will be given out as well. So they might not have as many fans here as they will be watching at home, but there is the men's team here supporting them. And everyone goes home with a medal around their neck, which I'm sure, as a club, will mean an awful lot. Captain Sabrina Farham, ready to crown themselves champions as a cheer goes up by the Olympia team and the Olympia supporters. They've already done a lot of celebrating, and I'm sure that'll go well on into the night as they travel back all the way down to London. Malvina Speck gets the player of the match. Unsurprisingly, 9 goals to her name. At one point, 15 minutes in, Olympia had only scored 4 goals. She scored all 4 of them. And the player of the match for West London Eagles was also their top goal scorer with a scream at the end, Victoria Pavashinska. Excited to see her play again in a couple of weeks' time. So that's it from the prize giving. Thank you very much for watching the final of the Women's British Handball Super Cup. There is one more game. It's North East Manchester Hawks versus Livingston. That's going to come up in about half an hour's time. Throw-off is likely to be around 4:10. About 10-minute delay as we have to let them warm up properly. But my name's been Jack Oliphant. I hope you join us again in about 25 minutes' time for the last game of the British Handball Super Cup. We'll see you in a minute.
Maddie, congratulations on the silver. How are you and the team feeling after that final?
I'll be honest, I think we're a bit deflated. You know, we really wanted to come and win today, but ultimately to come silver in the British Super Cup's an amazing achievement, so we should all be so happy with it. But obviously it would be nice to come away with a win at the end of the day. So
It is an absolutely incredible achievement. And you guys were here last year, you secured the silver as well. How do you think this year's performance compares to that of last year?
I think we were at a disadvantage last year. We didn't have our full bench. We had a few people away or injured. But this year, you know, we had our full bench. It was so great to play with everyone as a team. I think, you know, at the end of the day, we could have won. But you know, it's great to play with a full full team, full bench, and it's great to play as a unit as we did.
Has it, you know, focused your team for next year? Do you think the goal is to go on and take that next step?
100%. You know, we've got 2 silvers now. We've got that collection. We want that gold next year. 100%.
Okay, and will you have any fun plans tonight to celebrate and relax with the team?
I think a nice long train back to London is always, you know, not the most exciting thing, but I'm sure we'll all be jovial on the train back. But yeah, always nice to come away with a bit of silverware. So yeah, really pleased.
Congratulations once again, all the very best.
Thank you.
Okay, Sabrina, Olympia are Super Cup champions. How does it feel?
Really amazing. It was a really nice game today. It's really amazing.
Are you happy with the team's performance? Did everyone gel on the court today?
Yeah, I think we started a bit slow at the start of the game. We struggled a bit at the start to start scoring. But I think once we got into the game and the intensity started increasing, I'm really proud of the team. I think we played really well.
It's been a bit of a dream season for you as well. You've taken a load of titles and this has just been the topping to that. How's that been the whole season?
I mean, this is what we work for. We work for games like this. We won the league in England and now this. Yeah, we take each game, each tournament as it comes. But yeah, really good.
And you've got a lot of momentum going into next year. Have you got any big plans, any big goals for next year? Just keep it going?
So we still have the cup final coming up in 2 weeks' time, again against West London Eagles. So yeah, once we've had that'll be our last tournament this season, well, competition.
Okay, well, good luck for that and enjoy the celebrations tonight. Huge congratulations once again.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.